Miami Dolphins mode. Yeah. Miami Dolphins mode. What? Miami Dolphins. Woo. Mode. Yeah. Woo.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special episode today. First and foremost, click subscribe to the Miami Dolphins Mode channel. Support the Fins Up movement. It's going to happen. That's been going on for a long time. All right, click, like it. Now let's get to the draft, the 2020 NFL draft. That was especially um, outstanding, bright spot for the Miami Dolphins, who had a total of 12 picks. And I'm going to talk about this. We're going to break this down with my co-host, Juan. What's going on? What you thinking about what happened with the draft and what to expect from this roster?
So the draft. What's up, Miami Dolphin fans? I think this draft was a good draft. It was a deep draft. We had a lot of picks. I feel that in the future, what's going to happen is you're going to see a lot of these guys come on as as starters on the team, or play a big role in rotational, or certain packages and things like that. There's a lot here, and there's a lot to talk about, man. There's a lot to be excited about with this.
For sure, definitely. So, talking about exciting, we're going to go with our first pick, number 5th pick overall, Tua Tagovailoa from Alabama. The whole tank for Tua movement that started actually ended up happening into fruition. So I couldn't believe when we actually picked him at number 5. What went through your mind with picking him at number 5, and what to expect from him as a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins?
Well, first off, I didn't expect him to be there at number 5. I thought with everything that went on, I thought we would have to move up to get him. I was excited that he was still there at 5. The only thing, like when the Dolphins were on the clock, I was like, just don't mess us up, man. Just pick him. You know what I mean? And, because the other drafts all the drafts that I've been to before, it's just, you get that feeling, right? But once they picked him, I was like, I was ecstatic. I love the pick. I've been a Tua fan for a while. You can see that he just gets everything, man. He goes through his progressions. He's great in the pocket. He has great, outstanding accuracy. He anticipates the receivers before they get there. With a 5-step out or something, he's already throwing it before the receiver already turned his head, which that's NFL type things. It helps you. He's a lot more mobile than you would suggest, that people would suggest. But he still has to work on a few things. He has to work on maybe, not holding on the ball for too long, and, trying to escape, especially in the beginning part, when he first goes out there, until he gets a feel for it. I think as the years go on and then he gets more used to it, maybe he'll do it more. But in the beginning, maybe you want to emphasize a little bit, just get it out a little quicker. And he's very athletic as a runner too. He doesn't get like all the credit, but he does his thing in the run. He's a mobile quarterback. You just don't want it with the injuries and all that. But he is a mobile quarterback, just to give a full review on him. But he does need to figure. He's not a complete, but he's very close to being a complete quarterback. You know what I mean? At such an early part in his career. Just excited, man. I think he's a great individual, personal wise. Everybody loves to be around him. Everybody says good things about him. I hope that it looks like he'll take that into the NFL and continue with that, ask people for help, communicate with everybody. Just even in the NFL draft, he was like, I just want to get their number, talk to people, form a relationship already, and when a guy's thinking that already, getting drafted, that just shows maturity and you are a team player. And, it goes back to his player history. I don't really got to inform you about that. Everybody says it. Yeah. So it's very exciting, man, especially in a Brian Flores type of atmosphere, the type of things that he wants on, what's the word? What's the word?
What?
For the team, the atmosphere. There you go. Yeah, the atmosphere. He wants
the atmosphere.
Right? And then, he wants that to be a certain way. And Tua, he fits right in what Brian Flores, Chris Greer want, in their team. So very exciting.
No, yeah, definitely. He definitely has that personality that I'm sure Greer and Flores are looking for, while still being his own individual. Gonna have a great team player. So definitely excited about him. The injuries is always a concern, but if we can protect him, then we can see a lot of great things for him for years to come. So number 5th pick, I think everyone loves that pick for the most part. So let's go to the next pick, which I like to emphasize with the 18th pick, my boy Juan predicted in his 3 mock draft video that we would potentially select Austin Jackson.
That's right.
And from USC, and then lo and behold, we actually did pick Austin Jackson, which was pretty fucking awesome. All right, which was the pick that the Steelers gave us for Minkah Fitzpatrick. So, Juan, break down Austin Jackson, and then how the hell did you even think that this guy would be a good fit for the Dolphins?
Well, I mean, Austin Jackson is a great prospect. He this year he had not a worse year than his junior year, but like I said before, over the summer he gave bone marrow to his sister. He was a perfect match for her, and he did that right in the summer. So right in the break, he didn't have too much time after the bone marrow transplant to get back into playing football. It was literally like a month or two right after.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was really recuperating within that time period. And once he got back because Austin Jackson's a very athletic guy and things like that. So he could get back and start. But the strength wasn't still there. He was still recuperating because it takes a while to get back in full form. If he wouldn't have done that, probably he would have been a higher draft pick this year, right? Last year they said if he continues to play the same way that he played the year before, his junior year, he would have been a high echelon type tackle in the first round. You know what I mean? And because of the circumstances, I think that that hurt his draft stock, a little bit, and that's why he fell down. And that's why he took it as, if you hear the reports on him, they said the second half of the season, he played better than the first half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that makes sense, right? The second half, he's getting back there, it's getting more, everything's coming back together, and that's what happens now. He does have problems though. He does lunge a little bit and with his technique. But I don't want to be biased because we picked him or anything like that. But still, because one of the things that they said about his technique is that he lunges, right? When he's blocking the defender, he lunges. Now, when you're a little weaker, you got to put a little extra, lean into it when you're blocking these strong guys. So maybe that may contribute. I'm just, he's a Dolphin fan, so I want to, but and then that does go into the technique, especially when the guys in front of you, they haven't been recuperating at all. They've been going full throttle the whole time. You know what I mean? So it might be that he does have a learning curve. He does have certain things that he needs to figure out. But they're mostly very coachable. They're all coachable. Athletic wise, he's probably more athletic than all the other tackles taken before him. Maybe whiffs. But if you see him like in some of the film, you see him going out on pulls. Like on counter traps or sweeps, man, he gets there pretty fast. You know what I mean? He moves for the big guy that he is. He moves like a shorter guy. He's twitchy for a big guy. So if as right now, the tackles before him, get them before him. But after a couple years, maybe 2, maybe 3 years, maybe a few years, they're probably gonna be right there neck and neck. And Master Jackson does have the possibility of being better than those guys. You know what I mean? So in the long run, it might be a great pick. Maybe in the beginning, you might get some headaches. You might get some like a quick twist move here or a stunt here where the guy comes around. You might not pick, but those are things. Those are just headaches from the first year. Just like we had with Laramie Tunsil when he was here his first year. He wasn't perfect. There's a couple things, and then it takes like a couple of years to figure out. Once you get to the second, third year, that's when you judge. You know what I mean? But
for sure.
I like the pick.
No, he definitely has a lot of potential. I mean, took a lot of heart to do what he did for his sister, which, I'm sure any brother that loves his sister would do. So that's a great pick. He's definitely he's gonna try to go for that left tackle spot with against Julian Davenport. So it's gonna be a good, exciting matchup to see who will come there, and at least it'll add depth for us. So it's definitely all around good pick.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. He's the best tackle we got on the team.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like he's the best tackle. He's the best tackle. He's the best one that we have. So you from day one, even if he does make mistakes, he's gonna be a better tackle than what we had last year. So you know what I mean?
That's definitely already an upgrade from what he had last year. So for sure. So that's an exciting pick right there. And to pick a tackle in the first round, the Dolphins, that even makes it more exciting.
Yes.
All right. With the next pick, all right, now what we had the 26th pick originally, correct?
Yeah.
But that's the one we traded with Green Bay, who we all know Green Bay got. And we traded that for the number 30th pick, which was for cornerback Noah IGBINOGHENE.
Noah IGBINOGHENE. Before we get to Noah, me and Lenny, we were talking about this, about, with the Packers drafting, what is it, Jordan Love? Right, then that Aaron Rodgers must be pissed off, man. They almost, what was it? They got to the national champions. They got to the AFC
the conference,
conference championship, right? And
right there against the Niners.
Instead of that, they don't get him a receiver or anything.
In the deepest receiver class, they don't get nothing. They don't get a receiver whatsoever.
Yeah, they do not draft one. They don't pick one up in free agency. Nothing. Aaron Rodgers must be pissed off, bro. And then the second round they get the running back, and then they get a tight end in the third round. That's crazy. But moving on. That's something that me and Leonard were talking about. Noah IGBINOGHENE. I said that right. We were practicing. IGBINOGHENE.
From Auburn, baby.
From Auburn. I think it's a great pick. I didn't think this was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen because of Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. The secondary is one of the, you could say it's one of the best, arguably one of the best secondaries in the league.
And then,
what I mean? But the thing is that you put in IGBINOGHENE there, right? Now you got options, man. Yeah, you got Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. You could put him in on a nickel. You never know. You could put Byron Jones in on a nickel and have him on the outside. You never know. You could put him in. You could take him over there to safety. And still have them locked down on each corner. There is 3 to 4 receiver packages. So, you got boom, boom, boom. Like, you're kind of going, I mean, depending on the progression of IGBINOGHENE, you might have 3 first number 1 corners. And you definitely have 2 number 1s.
At least 2.
You definitely have 2 number 1s. So, if IGBINOGHENE could come out and do his thing, oh my God, try to pass on us. I mean, they said, Chris Greer and Brian Flores said straight up, look, you were the highest rated one that we had on the board. And that's why we took.
Nice. Wow.
You know what I mean? So that's saying something, because Delpit was still there, Whitfield was still there. All these guys were still there. And he started in college as a receiver for the first 2 years, but then he couldn't catch anything. Basically, he doesn't have hands. So they moved him over to DB. He's only played DB for 1 year. This year that just passed, right? And he was right there with it. He's a first round pick. I mean, they had him to go in the late first round, early second round. So it wasn't a reach, crazy reach. If that's what you're saying, if it wasn't a crazy reach. It was, just a little reach.
No.
You know what I mean? So if it was, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it was. I'm saying if it was. So it's a great pick. I mean, the secondary, how the Patriots do that. Their secondary is like, shut down type. I think this is like a step above. I don't think that that Belichick has had a secondary like this. The secondary is looking kind of crazy. It's looking kind of concrete, like shut down, and they're gonna be there for a while. Xavier Howard has another 4 years on his contract. Byron Joseph's on the 5, and we got IGBINOGHENE for like at least 3. You know what I mean? So that's
at least on a rookie contract.
They're gonna be there for a while. So if they could get there together and bond and work together, and IGBINOGHENE, I should feel that he's gonna get there faster as far as perfecting his craft because he has two guys, you know, that he's practicing with that have perfected them. You know what I mean? So it just brings that. So your level of standards as far as a DB, right? Are you know are raised because of what you're practicing with on a daily basis. You know what I mean? It makes you better. And repetition. You don't want to be all the way looking back on the other side. I mean, but I like the pick. He's a long cornerback, you know, like Howard and Jones, you know, but he's very shifty. Great pick, man. Love it. Love the pick.
Definitely didn't expect the pick, but when they announced it, I mean, I was excited about it because then we got to see what Flores could develop by having, you know, all these top cornerbacks back there and, you know, just being like a no-fly zone back there. And on top of that, he could also play special teams. So he could definitely contribute in more ways than one.
Yeah. What's his return average? You told me
he
before.
Averaged 31.4 yards per return.
That's ridiculous, bro.
Over his career, which is nasty. He had 20 catches for 628 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Good Lord.
I mean, that is another great weapon to have there.
Yeah, he's a punt returner,
Arsenal
kick returner. You can never have enough, man. You can never have enough. So that's good, man. All around.
It definitely goes along with the theme, you know, with what Flores is trying to build. These players that could do more things than one, that are versatile and can attack in so many different ways. So that's why we definitely like this.
That's one.
So let's go now round 2.
We're still round 2. We have so many.
We're now just getting into round 2.
We're still in round 2,
so
people.
With the So with the 39th pick, the Dolphins select Robert Hunt, guard from Louisiana Lafayette. Okay. Exciting pick because we're going after a guard.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry.
Of course I'm right. I got the notes right here, son. Robert Hunt.
Robert Hunt,
son.
Yeah.
6'5", 323, 4-year starter at right tackle. What you think about Hunt?
Hunt, man, massive guy, bro. Massive guy. He's a punisher. If you see him, like, man, he moves people. He moves, but he's that way, but he's strong. He's like an ox.
Oof.
This guy, he moves people and he likes it. You know, he likes to bully people around when he gets into the line of scrimmage. He likes to knock people out. One thing that he said, hey, football, you know, football is one of the places where you can hit people and you won't get in trouble for it, you know? So you like that type of attitude. You know what I mean? And, you know, they got him. He's declared, a lot of people say that he'll be better at, he should be a guard in the NFL. But, you know, because, I don't know, I guess because he's coming out of Lafayette State, you know, and all that, Louisville. And then, so they're thinking that he could be a guard. But the Dolphins don't necessarily feel that way. I've heard that they say that he's going to get a shot, you know, at tackle, guard, wherever, you know.
For sure.
It's better. You know, you can't classify that yet because you got to get him in practice. You got to see him with pads on. You know what I mean? Now you got to see him with the competition in front of him and see how he handles himself. You know what I mean? But he can play tackle. He can play guard. You know, either way, wherever he's at, I believe that in his runs, he's going to be able to move the person. You know, something that I've talked about before that we haven't had for a long time. He's going to move him. He's going to move him on the way, you know. And this is what we need. We need some people that'll do that. His pass protection is also good. I mean, but there is going to be a learning curve with him because his competition, the level of competition that he's faced compared to the level of competition he's going into, is going to be something that is going. He's gonna have to get used to. It's faster, it's stronger, you know, it's smarter as well. You know, so there is a learning curve for there. But yeah, I mean, he does have the tools. He does have the talent. He has the intangibles that you will look into a guard or a tackle. You know, it just depends on how fast he picks it up. You know, it depends on you know, how fast he gets accustomed to the playbook, to the speed, you know, to the level of competition. You know, it also has to do with the coach that they have. You know, how fast can they, you know, coach them up. We don't, you know, we haven't had a offensive line coach, you know, here for a extended amount of time for a long time. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things I think that hurts us, that we still haven't found. You know what I mean? But that's something else. But Robert Hunt, I mean, I like the pick. I think that he's very aggressive. He's the type of guard or offensive lineman, that I like. It's aggressive. He's an aggressive. You don't need everybody to be like that, but you need at least one or two in the offensive line so they can set the tone. You know what I mean? I do like it. I just wonder here, how he's gonna perform with the talent in front of him. But what the good thing about it is that where the conference that he was at, he dominated. Like, he was the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, it's just his size or something. No, he dominated. He dominated the thing. So, that also gives some good perspective in there. But I like it, man. I said it before that I want him to get to offensive linemen. And they did, and they pulled the trigger on some big boys.
Yeah, in the second round, which is pretty awesome. So again, at 6'5" 2, who wouldn't love a guard like that, with the intensity that he has, blocking for a QB.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. I like the pick, though. I like the pick. I'm interested to see, man. I'm interested to see how training camp goes, because, we still got Michael Dieter. You still have Shaq Calhoun.
Yeah.
You still have all these guys. It's gonna be like 3-4 guys batting out, maybe 5.
Yeah.
It's definitely deeper than what we had last year.
Deeper, could be a lot more competitive as well too.
Yeah.
So definitely excited about that one. And then speaking about excitement, let's go to our second pick in the second round. All right, number 56 pick overall, which my boy, again, Juan, predicted this one in his magic crystal ball that he refused to show me.
Boom.
Number, 56 overall, REAKWON Davis, defensive tackle from Alabama.
Yes.
So,
go ahead.
Break down what you saw in him and what made you freaking pick him. That would be, again, a perfect fit for what the Dolphins are trying to do.
Okay, first off, let me say this. I mean, REAKWON Davis is a big dude. All right, he's 6'7". He's I think about 320. I said that he reminds me of Tony McDaniel when Tony Sperano, Jeff Ireland were here. We had a D tackle. He's 6'7". This guy, what we have is we have Christian Wilkins. I know we got him last year, and I know we got David Gottschalk, right? But what happens is that Wilkins and Gottschalk, they're not. They could stuff the run, but that's not like their strength, right? Yes. David Gottschalk is better at it, I think, than Wilkins is. But what happened with them a lot is that they got double team and they play the one technique. They're not one techniques. Preferably they're 3 techniques, right? So what Davis does is that he goes into the one technique, and you're gonna have to double team the guy. And he's just a massive guy. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna fill up those holes, get more double teams, leaving Christian Wilkins on a one-on-one, or leaving David Gottschalk on a one-on-one, or leaving the ends on a one-on-one. And giving him a better chance to beat the tackle out. I think in the first season, his main job is gonna be plug up the holes. Get the double teams. You know what I mean? Like, make the double teams come to you so it could free up the other guys. I think he's gonna do a lot of the dirty work. And he's very athletic. He's very strong at the point of attack. And his sophomore year in college, he actually had 8 sacks from the D tackle position. And he was, like I said before, he was projected to be a first-round pick after his sophomore year. They were like, whoa, he's going to be one of the top guys, especially getting 8 sacks. If he would have done that a second year, he would have been top, right there with Wilkins. You know what I mean? It would have been a consideration. But the thing is that the sacks didn't come through. However, the run still maintained. He's always been good against the run, and it's something that we had to stop. Remember that we were one of the last in the league against the run. If he could plug up the middle of the hole, and now we got defensive ends that could set the edge. It's not gonna be that easy to run on us. We already know that Wakeholm and Millen, if they're around Baker, they could pick him up in the second level. Now we got Van Noy too. So if he
Oof.
can plug up the middle, we can set the edge. It's going to be very difficult to run, and it's going to be very difficult to pass. So I think it isn't a sexy pick as far because it's in the trenches. But if he's able to do that, create more one-on-one matches for Christian Wilkins, you get pressures, you can stop the run, and I think it was a very important piece. I was telling Lennon before the draft that we need one of these guys because it dropped down because the year before they were running through the middle like crazy. Last year they were running through the middle, but not as much, but they were still running through the middle. So if they could get this, because REAKWON Miller stopped a lot of those runs. He was doing good against those runs. But if Davis could get in there and plug that up too, hey, that's gonna be even better. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be a good thing. It's gonna be a good thing. I like the pick. And if he could go back, because he's done it before, if he could go into being a sacking machine like he was, hey, all the better. You know what I mean? Like all the better. I don't think it could happen year one, but maybe look to happen like year 2, 3, 4. You know, after he gets more. But in the beginning, what I'm saying is plug up the hole, get the double team, stuff it. You know, and I think that's gonna be his main thing. And he's always been good. He's always been good with that.
No, for sure. If he could get, even like about, 3, even 4 sacks for the year, 10 tackles for loss, plus he's plugging up the hole, that'll definitely make it, such a great pick at number 56. We're going to have a guy to do that. So definitely excited about REAKWON Davis and having the REAKWON brother combination that the Dolphins has, with REAKWON McMillan too. So the REAKWONs are coming at you, son. Wu-Tang style.
Wu-Tang. Yeah.
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang
Wu-Tang's for the kids.
You know
Wu-Tang's for the Dolphins.
Now we need to get a Method Man or something like that.
We need Method Man and then
RZA,
RZA Johnson and stuff next year. So we'll work on that one next year.
Yeah.
All right. So the next move we went after that, we went to pick number 70th in the 3rd round, and that's when we got Brandon Jones, safety from Texas. So he definitely made some noise at the combine for some creative things that he did since he was a little injured, which one we'll talk about. Looks like he's got a lot of potential. So Juan, what do you think about this kid?
Brandon Jones, to be honest with you, I didn't really know too much about him until we picked him. I don't watch too much college film. I watch their highlights and I look at their film a bit if I'm interested in the player, which I think next year I'm going to try to do more, right? But what I went through with Brandon Jones is I saw he's a 3-year starter in Texas. He wasn't able to go to the combine because he got injured. I forgot exactly what the injury was, but he couldn't go through the combine. So what he did was that he called all the teams in the NFL and asked them for the defensive playbook. He got all theirs, and he studied 4 games. He watched 4 games of each football team, right? That's 32 football teams. 4, it said it took him about 8 weeks to do. So he didn't really, he didn't go through the whole thing, but he went through, he just wanted to show him how intelligent he was, where his football IQ was, and then, that just gives you a small insight on the football IQ that he does and what type of person he is. You know what I mean? By not going to the draft, so he created a little bit more leverage doing that, which is smart. It's clever.
Yeah.
Smart thing. But the Dolphins also, if you look at the video, Brian Flores and Chris Greer also say it's not only that, just because you study your playbook doesn't mean we're gonna pick you. That's basically what they said. So you know what I mean? But they say that he's a great guy. I would say he's a strong safety type. I don't know if he would be a free safety. He is athletic, you know what I mean? It depends on how they use him, how they coach him up. Brian Flores does have he's creating this I guess I don't know, I forgot the word, but a lot of people are saying that he's getting the most out of his players. So maybe with Brandon Jones, he could, take that little umph out and just help him out in his as he plays along and gets used to the NFL. But he is athletic. He does run fast. He does have hands, and he's a team captain. And one thing that you see with all these guys that the Dolphins are drafting, they're high character guys, team captains, you
Yep.
know, let it be on special teams or the offense, defense. So then I'm thinking that what they want in their culture, that's what it was before when I said atmosphere, it was culture. What they want in their culture, I guess, is like, like team leaders. So they have that team leader mentality and already know what to do. Like,
Yep.
you don't have to tell them what to do. They pretty much know, where they have to be and all of that. And, it's a good trend that they're having. And he does have a nice athletic ability. He can run sideline to sideline. I don't know if he's the fastest, but, he's fast enough. And they do need an extra safety because what we have right there is Eric Rowe and Bobby McCain right now. They do need to add some depth, and he definitely doesn't have to come on and be a starter right away, which is also good. And he could come in on packages and they could bring him in slow, a third round pick. Some people are comparing him to Rashad Jones. I don't know if I could go there. Rashad Jones was a big hitter coming out of college. I really didn't see too much of that. I mean, from Brandon Jones, he does wrap up and he does tackle, but I don't think he's a Rashad Jones. Not as of now. You know what I mean?
Yet.
But well, it's interesting to see. And the thing is that these guys, Brian Flores, Chris Greer, they look at so much film. They have so many scouts. They have so much more information than what I could have or we could have. That they got something there. You know what I mean? I know that they were tied into some other players, but I think he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. Maybe don't expect it right away. But, you'll see some glimpses here and there.
No, definitely, I like he's, got a high competitiveness to him, which is something I'm sure Flores looks for. He had 86 tackles in 2019, which is one of the best among the safety class. So, the guy's going to go out there and make tackles.
Yes.
Plus with that secondary that we have, he's going to learn with them. So, it's all up to him to really grow his potential. So, we didn't know of him before the draft, but now we do. And from what we've seen, we're excited about him. So that's another player. We look forward to seeing what he could prove himself, come training camp.
Yep.
So then let's move on in the round number 4 with the 111th pick. We got Solomon Kindley, guard from Georgia, which was this trade originally from Texas. So, from that Lemery Tunsil trade, we got Solomon Kindley from Georgia. 6'3", 337, 3-year starter from Georgia. Another big boy. So tell us, what do you see for Mr. Solomon, and then now with the, this revamped O-line that we got?
Solomon Kindley, man, out of Georgia. Big guy, physical guy. You see him throw people on their back, set up pancakes. Good against the run. He moves people. He's a strong guy. Strong guy at the point of attack. He is a guard. He's not a tackle guard. He's a guard. All right. And then, so I think he also plays center a little bit. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But he is a solid. He's a real guard. You know what I mean? And he's a mover. The thing is with him is that what they say his cons may be that his balance is a little off. Sometimes he gets off balance, and on the pass protection, he's not solid there, right? But remember, he went to Georgia. What does Georgia do? They run the ball. They run the ball. They run the ball straight down your throat. Like, as you can see, they had Michelle. They had Chubb. Now they got Swift.
Yep.
It's like, and that's running. All they do is run.
Points.
That's what they do. They run the ball. So what happened is this is what I'm saying, is that he had more practice at running the ball. Practice had more reps at running the ball than it did passing, I'm pretty sure. And then also in the game, you have more running the ball than passing the ball. You know what I mean? They're top. I believe that they're taught to run first, especially in the Georgia that's always been a run-heavy team, just like the offensive lineman from Wisconsin. But, even though that is it, the reason why he dropped down, what was he? He was a 4th-round pick, right? To the 4th round is because of that. But those are things that are coachable. You know what I mean? Those are things that they're not things, you could definitely train more to keep your balance. you know, if you emphasize on that. And there's if you get more reps on the passing, if you get more, you know, emphasize a little more on it, then, you know, you can pick up. Now, and the being in the fourth round, you're not expecting to be a starter on the offensive line if you're in the fourth round. However, because our offensive line was so bad last year, it might happen. You know what I mean? Like I said before, he's a powerful guy. You know, so he could definitely win a battle if you know he puts his thing together. But you're not thinking that he would be a starter, being picked in the fourth round. But you know, he is a solid guard. If he doesn't start right away, give it 2, maybe 3 years, and he might be something special. This guy could run people over. He's very strong, and he's good against the run. You know what I mean? If he wasn't good against the run, we would have picked him in the fourth round. You know, he would have been picked in the 6th or the 7th round. You know what I mean? So in the fourth round, he has to do something good. You know what I mean? And that's what it is the run. You know, and he's able to pull too. So you know, there's a little there, man. And like I said before in other videos that I've done before, we haven't had guards. So I'm glad that even if he doesn't start, we have depth at guard and we have aggressive guard. So it's I like it. I like it.
Yes, I definitely like it. You know, and like you said, how he played in Georgia, how he backed up those running backs. So he's got a lot of good experience doing that in the system that way, which ties in with the next pick that the Dolphins got. But it wasn't a rookie. It was a trade with the San Francisco 49ers.
Great trade.
We traded 153rd pick in the 5th round for Matt BRIEDA.
Matt who?
So, Matt BRIEDA.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was an exciting move. Dolphin fans were expecting, right, to get a running back. Everyone was like, when are we going to get a running back? Be quiet, said Flores. We're going to get one. Don't worry about it. So tell us why Matt BRIEDA is going to work great for their Dolphins.
I think that he's a great combination, a combination to Jordan Howard. He is the complete opposite of Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard is a power back, you know, run between the tackles. BRIEDA could run in between the tackles, but he's a fast back. You know, he's a scat back. He runs a 4.39, and he's actually more powerful than what you would think. You know, he's one of the fastest running backs in the NFL. You know what I mean? So I mean, you put that combination. You know, you got Jordan Howard wearing you out. You know, on a down basis, you bring in BRIEDA, the fast guy. It's hard for the defenses to, you know, acclimate to that. It's like we're dealing with power, then boom, here comes the cheetah, you know, just running around. And then, so, you know, it confuses them. It makes the defensive players work harder. It makes them run a lot more, and it makes them, you know, spread out more. So I think it's a great combination to Jordan Howard. Plus, Matt BRIEDA is a better running back than you would have ever gotten in the 5th round. You know what I mean? Or, you know, predicted, because there are some 5th round talent. You know, you never know. I mean, look at Lindsey from the Denver. He was a drafted rookie. You know, so you never know. But I mean, as far as the people grading him and all that, a 5th round wouldn't be comparable to the talent that Matt BRIEDA has. Right? In other teams, they wouldn't have traded him, but because the 49ers are stacked at running back, I mean, completely stacked at running back, they're able to do that. However, I will say this: Matt BRIEDA only has 1 year left on his contract. Okay. So, you know, that's another thing. I mean, 49ers were completely dumb. What they did was they said, okay, he only has one more year. It's a $3 million, which we took on. And then after that year, if he does good, then they let him ball out and get his contract with somewhere else, you know. So there is a big chance that after this following year, Matt BRIEDA cannot be with us anymore. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's there. I mean, we could sign him to extension. It could happen, but there is also a chance that he's not going to be there after the end of the season. And then that's why, you know, that's why they did the trade. That's why the 49ers did the trade, because, you know, they're like, hey, there's only 1 year left. You know, you figure it out after.
Yeah, that's fine. Like you said, they got depth at running back. You know, we could use a running back. Matt BRIEDA could prove himself. And then, you know, we'll take it from there. We can always then, you know, a lot of emphasis in this draft was, you know, the O-line, D-line, you know, some of the secondary. So then next year, you know, we can go for those high picks for the running backs. But at least for now, We got a guy with tons of experience, you know, with the 49ers who made it to the Super Bowl, showed a lot of like toughness, you know, injuries and still kicking ass, running for 100 yards. So he brings a lot of great, you know, experience, knowledge to the game, smart dude. So definitely looking forward to seeing what he could bring with the O-line that we're bringing.
Yes, yes. I mean, the O-line is going to do a lot. It's going to have to do a lot with it, man, you know, because these guys could run. But if it was something like last year, I mean, it's not going to be. But I don't think it's going to be. I mean, I'm hoping that it is, you know, with Eric Flowers, Ted Karras, you know, Jackson, you know, and then you got Robert Hunt, and then, you know, never know. You got Davis there. You also got Kinley, Michael Dieter. So, I mean, there's going to be a competition, Shaq Calhoun. There's going to be a competition at the right side. I think that the left side is like a little done already, like Jackson, Flowers, Karras, and then the right guard and the right tackle is like free-for-all. Who's going to get it? You know what I mean? Like, go ahead, like compete and let's see what's up. You know,
that's battle it out.
Yeah, it's
Get
gonna
in the
be
trenches. Let's go. Dogfight. Let's go. Who won it?
Yeah. Because I mean, if Michael Dieter, like, don't forget, Michael Dieter started 15 games last year and he played it on 16. If he go, I think, like I said, if he hits the weight room, right, and fixes a couple of things, he might be a lot better than what you thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't just, you know, like write him off or anything like that yet. Just yet. You know, let's see what happens. You know.
Very true.
I mean, the competition is going to be a lot better than the competition from last year. You could bet on that. You could bet on that.
For sure. Yeah. So definitely excited about that. Matt BRIEDA, we got him. So then now we move on to the 154th pick in the 5th round. We got Jason STROWBRIDGE, defensive end from North Carolina. Another guy that looks like he has a lot of potential. You know, tell me what he could bring to the D-line for the Miami Dolphins.
Jason STROWBRIDGE coming out of North Carolina Tar Heels. He's a guy. He's kind of, I would say he's in between right now, right? And what I mean by that is he's in between a D end and a D tackle. All right. We haven't figured out exactly what position is the best for him. But I think he's a hybrid defender. He's very athletic. He's very quick, man. He's very quick, and I don't know. I think that he's gonna be like, I don't know, like a real project, you know, for Brian Flores. I don't know what Brian Flores is gonna do, but I think with the speed that he has and the explosiveness that he brings, you know, maybe they're gonna create some blitzes for him. I see that. I don't know. I don't know for what, or maybe off the edge, or I don't know, because their defense is just crazy, but. He could be a D end. He could be a D tackle. He could be a great, a nice piece to the rotation. You know what I mean? I would see him more of passing situational rotation player right now, because he's on the smaller side. But even with the smaller side, being on the smaller side, he still is disruptive in the run. So you can't discount him being part of the rushing rotation as well. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I know that there's something there, right? I know that there's something there. I know that it's intriguing. I don't know if it could come out the first year, or I don't know if it's going to come out the second year. Remember, we're already, in the 5th round, right?
Yeah.
Remember, we're in the 5th round. So some of these guys here, they're looking to be in the rotation, or they're looking to be on special teams. You know, he doesn't have a special teams field goal block in North Carolina, you know. So, I mean, I think that he's going to be like a project for Brian Flores. I don't know what exactly, but he looks intriguing. He looks fast. He looks like he can move fast. You know what I mean? It just depends. And remember, with the defense Brian Flores runs, it's like blitzes here. The guys lined up one time. Sometimes they only have one down lineman, and they have like linebackers, and you know, everybody looking like they're gonna blitz and then come back, and you know, so it's crazy. So you don't know what's what. You know, but within that scheme, I think they're gonna create something for him. They're gonna do something, and I'm excited to see what it is. You know, but I think the first year for him, you know, is going to be special teams, and you know, maybe on specific packages, you know, and things like that, and hopefully things like that nature.
For sure. I mean, and he definitely has, his own accolades to him. He was in the Senior Bowl, earned third team All ACC in 2019. And, what I like again, too, is the coaches and his teammates talked highly of him, of his leadership and, the type of guy that he is. So, excited what he could do and bring, in year one.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on now to, we're going to stay in the 5th round. We're going to go to the 165th pick. And now this pick, when it was announced, I saw a lot of, surprising moves, but a lot of people like this move and they see a lot of potential with Curtis Weaver, defensive end for Boise State. 6'2", 265, 3-year starter. This guy could be nasty. What do you think this guy could do for the Dolphins?
It was surprising for me that he was still there. You know what I mean? Especially, they had him graded out 1st to 3rd round, and a lot of people thought he was going to go in the 1st, early 2nd round. We got him all the way in the back of the 5th round, which is, there's obviously something there that everybody saw. Now, his level of competition over there he was at Boise State, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Boise State, the level of competition is less there, right? But he did dominate it. He did dominate. I think he got a single season record for sacks in a season. And he just dominated. The things that some people say is that his weight was a problem, or there were some problems there. On I don't know if it's behavioral or something, but there was something there. There was something there, and I think that also being in Boise State in a lesser division maybe affected his drop staff a little bit. This could very well be a gem that we found. Not found because everybody knew about it, but nobody picked him. He has the ability to be there, and then he's explosive off the edge. He has good moves. His motor doesn't stop. He keeps going. He keeps, finding a way. He battles. He has good hands. With the hands fight. He's able to get off. He has a good rip move. He has a good swim move. He has a good spin move. He has a couple, and he just works. And he keeps on working. And then a lot of times it's him just working and then being able to get around the defender or the quarterback moving up and him being able to sack. He's also very explosive. He's athletic. And things like that. He does need to get a little bigger though. But I think in the first year, if he does come out, he'll be more of a passing defensive end, a passing situational guy, like to get pressure, and things like that. I think that'll be his specialty in his first year. But he does do well against the run as well. So, it's just the level of competition that he's going in. Maybe people aren't sold that if he gets up to the next level that, he's going to do the same thing that he did before. Yeah. But look, getting him in the 5th round, all the way at the end of the 5th round, you're not really sacrificing much, and it's up to him. I saw him after he got picked. He was pissed. You can see it in his face. He was mad. He thought he was going in the 1st to 3rd round. You get picked in the 5th round. He was like, he was happy he got picked, but he was still like, he looked you in his face. He's like, yeah, you missed out on a lot of money. When you're talking about first, second round getting picked for your rookie contract from 1st, 2nd, 3rd to 5th, the amount of money is a lot. It's millions. You know what I mean? So, it'll piss you off. I'm hoping that he gets pissed off. He comes in and he just tears things up. That's one of the players, Curtis Weaver, that I'm going to be watching a lot because, being projected to go so high and then dropping, I want to see how he reacts. I want to see what happens, it's I like the pick. I think we needed defensive ends. I did not think that we were going to get him in the 5th round, so I think it's a great pick. It's a great value pick, and it could be bigger than perceived at this moment.
It definitely has a lot of high potential for such a, for a 5th round pick, so he could definitely, make a lot of noise for the Dolphins this coming year. So he's an exciting player to watch out for. Mm-hmm. Now, this next pick, this is the controversial pick out of all the picks for the Miami Dolphins, all right? Typically, at least before, there'll be like at least 3 controversial picks. This one is only the controversial one, but, I think this goes along with the theme with what Brian Flores and Chris Greer are doing, is bringing people with high character and leadership skills. So at the 185th pick, round 6, we got Blake Ferguson from LSU. So yes, you know, he is a long snapper, but he was the captain for LSU. So that must tell you a lot right there as well. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but he was at least the captain there. So I think he's going to bring a lot of leadership skills to that squad. So what do you think about this pick and getting a long snapper, drafting a long snapper this year?
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head, man. I mean, it's exactly what it is. It's they picked him because he's a leader as his long snapper. You know what I mean? I mean, why else would you pick a long snapper? You know what I mean? Like, you could get him I'm not saying that to decrease his value, but I'm saying, like, you could get him as an undrafted. Nobody's picking a long snapper. You know what I mean? In the draft. Nobody's doing that. So the reason why they did that is to make a point. This guy's a leader. He is a team captain. To be a team captain and being a long snapper, that means something. It says something about your character. You're not on the field all the time. You're the long snapper.
Yeah.
And so that means you must have done something substantial to become, as far as your personality and your character is, to become a team captain. And that's, if you see it, even with the free agents, even with everybody, most of these people are team captains. You know what I mean? And they're trying to get that culture in there, and they're trying to do something like that. And I see, you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure you could have got something else at the sixth round, you know, but they wanted. I think that was them making a point. This is the type of people we want, and even if you're a long snapper, we will draft you. You know what I mean? Like this.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's kind of like saying something, you know. And hey, I'm all for it. If you could do it, we got 12 picks in this round. If you think that's necessary, who am I to say anything about it? You know, and I'm just going with the flow, and I think that this is good. This is good, and it shows people what Miami Dolphins is all about. It just reiterates it, and then it's a statement. It's a statement. Also, we get a great player with Blake Ferguson.
It's definitely a ballsy statement, picking up a long snapper. But I like the fact that we got this guy from LSU. So we saw that a lot of free agent signings jumped on board on the Dolphins, squad, because they saw the exciting things that are happening here. So I think in his sense, let's see if, he could bring some attention to future LSU prospects over here as well too. You know what I mean? So he won a national championship with them, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we got right there. Let's see what he can do.
Ferguson.
The what?
Blake Ferguson.
Blake Ferguson. Shout out though. I want to give a shout out to Tabor Pepper, who was the long snapper last year for the Dolphins. Another special shout out, John Denny. So we've had some awesome long snappers, but that's a tough position to do. Shout out to him. We got Blake Ferguson. Now moving on to the freaking last pick of this endless draft. All right, with the 7th round pick.
Boom!
The 246th pick.
Our last one.
Miami Dolphins select Malcolm Perry from Navy. All right, who was a quarterback / receiver / running back / badass. We got him as a running back. I can't believe at the 246th pick, we got an exciting player that everyone is stoked to see what he could do. What do you think he could bring to the Dolphins squad that, this kid's a special kid? What could he do from Navy?
What he is, he's an explosive player. He creates things with the ball in his hands. You know what I mean? He had, I think, more than 4,000 yards rushing in Navy. He's a quick guy. He's very shifty. He can move in and out. He's kind of like a BRIEDA, right? You could say, but BRIEDA's more he's more groomed. He's already been through it and all that. He's gonna have a tough time making the team, right? To be honest with you, he's gonna have a tough time making the team. He's a 7th round pick. He was all the way. He's almost at the end of the draft. Okay, if he wants to stay on, he needs to get on special teams, or he needs to do something special. Overall, make you just be like, just be to a point where I can't not have him on my roster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get to a point like that. He's very shifty. He could take it to the house. He does have getaway speed. You know, he was a quarterback / wide receiver and running back. I think they're gonna put him at running back, maybe like a third down running back type thing, maybe like a Matt Breida type thing. You know, So you know, it's just he's gonna be one guy right now. He's a training camp body. Even though he got drafted all the way in the 7th round. You know, when you're drafted in the 7th round, it's almost like you're an undrafted free agent. You know, you're all the way in the back. So I mean, he's gonna if he's gonna do something, he's gonna have to do something like on special teams or running. He makes people miss. You know, he's very shifty. He could drop on a dime and just boom, take it over here, take it over there. His moves are really nice though. When he fakes people out, he kind of like you know, it kind of looks like the moves that Lamar Jackson puts. You know, it looks like that.
Yep.
You know, it's not as
break ankles.
He breaks ankles. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like a lot of people fall on their face trying to tackle Malcolm Perry in his college career. Now remember that he played in the Navy. He played Navy. You know, so their conference isn't as competitive as other conferences. You know what I mean? But he is intriguing. He's gonna be somebody to watch in training camp, and it really depends on what he can do. You know what I mean? He is on the smaller side, you know, but if he's able to get in there and make these things happen, hey, you never know. He can make the 53-man roster. He can stick onto the practice squad, maybe try to develop. You know, you never know. But he is intriguing. He's interesting. And, I would definitely like to see what he could do on the field.
No, for sure. I mean, the guy ran for 4,359 yards, you know, in his career in Navy. So the guy could run. The guy could bring a lot to the table. He could throw the ball as well, too. We could do some wildcat stuff. We could do some crazy stuff with him, you know. So even with the last pick, everyone was pretty excited about him to see what he can do. And that pretty much wraps up this draft right here that we felt like long and insane, but it was super exciting to see all this new talent come on board. We definitely see the theme, right? The leadership, the toughness, you know, the grit, the wanting to you know, play hard and tough. So, you know, this draft definitely had a theme and a strong, you know, feeling towards it that could help out the squad and moving future with what the Dolphins are trying to do, which is hopefully, you know what it is, to bring a Super Bowl back to this prestigious franchise. So that's what we're all excited and stoked about it. I'm Lennon Oceda. I'm here with my dog, Juan. Juan, you got any last-minute words you want to say, you want to talk about?
Same thing as always. Let's go Dolphins. If you have anything to say, put them down in the comments. If you don't like what we said, if you like what we said, whatever you need to say, just leave it down below. And thank you for your time, man. Go Dolphins.
Go Dolphins. Comment, what is your favorite pick? Let us know what's up. That's it. We out of here. Woo!
All right. Got it.